Hey guys, welcome to my kitchen and happy holidays. Don't you love this time of the year? It's beautiful, people have their lights on and it smells so good because of all of the cooking. I wish you could be in this kitchen and smell it. It's amazing. You're gonna be jealous. Now, we are gonna work on a somewhat controversial side dish, the famous cranberry sauce, but we're making it fresh. So look at these beautiful cranberries. They come in a bag at the grocery store. You can always find them. It's a 12-ounce bag. And all I've done is I've taken them out of the bag, given them a quick rinse, and they're in my bowl. So let's go ahead and get started. Just got a regular pot here. I'm gonna turn on my stove. I'm gonna put it on about medium-high. And I love that it's gas because it's already medium-high. I don't have to wait for it to heat up. So I'm gonna take my cranberries and I'm just gonna toss them into the pot. Now to that, I'm going to add 1 cup minus 2 tablespoons of water. Now you could do a cup, but I've got a little fancy 2 tablespoons of something we're gonna put in there. So I didn't want too much liquid, so I just went ahead and pulled 2 tablespoons of water out of here. Ooh, my pot was nice and hot, so you can hear it, it's already kinda making some noise. It's talking to me already. Now I'm gonna add some sugar to that, and this is just a cup of sugar. You can go a little more, a little less, depending on how sweet you like it. And this is like a scant cup, so. I'm gonna pour that right on top, and you can see those beautiful colors. It looks like Christmas. It's snowing. All right, I'm gonna give that a quick stir. I'm gonna turn the heat down just a little bit. And look at that instantly. I've got it on about a medium right now because I don't want them to start talking to me too soon. And I'll tell you what I mean by that in a second. Now I'm gonna add a 1/4 cup of cinnamon. I'm just gonna pop that in there. And this is a really delicious Mexican cinnamon. Sometimes for the holidays, you might wanna spend a little extra and get the fancy ingredients because it really does make a difference. And then I've got vanilla, and this is a Madagascar vanilla. I've got 3/4 of a teaspoon of Madagascar vanilla. There we go. I'm gonna put those in. I'm gonna give them a nice stir. You really wanna make sure that everything's coated. And you do wanna stir it from time to time because you don't want that sugar to burn on the bottom. There's enough liquid in here that that shouldn't happen. And it's already starting to smell really good with that cinnamon. Now the last kind of aromatic that I'm gonna put in there is gonna be some orange zest. And I'm just gonna take my handy dandy little peeler. And the reason I'm using a peeler instead of cutting it is because you'll see how thin that is. I mean, that's just like a beautiful little piece of orange zest. It has the oils in there, which are gonna add that fragrance and that flavor. I'm gonna just plop that right in. You wanna use a peeler or have really excellent cutting skills because you don't wanna get this white too much. That kind of pithy white can be a little bitter, and you can taste that in your cranberry sauce. Since cranberries already have a little bit of that bitterness, you don't wanna add to that. I'm gonna give that another stir. Oh, it's so pretty. You know, with all that liquid, it reminds me of the commercials when they're standing in the fields of cranberries. All right, so now for the grown-up part. You don't have to add this in. I have a beautiful orange liqueur. You can use any kind of orange liqueur. It doesn't have to be any specific brand, but it just is gonna add a little something extra. And I wanna put that in before the cranberry sauce boils because I wanna make sure that the alcohol cooks off and that all I have is that rich, delicious flavor that's left over. Okay, so let me get this off. Oh, I love that little sound. And I'm gonna put in 2 tablespoons. Normally I say don't measure things over what you're putting it into, because if it spills and you get a little bit too much in there, I'm not too worried about it with this. It's really good. If we get a little extra, we get a little extra. But I have mad pouring skills, so apparently we're not gonna get the extra today. Oh, there we go. And again, I'm gonna give it a stir. So now that I have all of my ingredients in here, I'm just gonna turn this up and let it boil. So I'm just gonna wait for about 10 minutes, and as this starts to boil and bubble, it's gonna start to talk to you. You're gonna start to hear the cranberries pop. So you're gonna do this little pop, pop, pop. All right, so it has come up to a foaming boil. Look at that. And you can see that the cranberries are cracking. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn it down and bring it down to a low, gentle boil. Okay, so I brought that down to about just a little bit over low, like between low and medium low. And I'm gonna let that boil for about 10 minutes. That's really gonna give any of the cranberries that haven't popped open yet time to pop open and share their juice. It's gonna give those flavors some time to melt in that. And then basically, that's it, you're done. You just cool it until if you can wait, hopefully, because it's really hot. So you don't want to taste it right away, but you let it cool. You can cool it for a couple hours. You can cool it overnight. It's gonna gel a little more and just be this really luxurious cranberry sauce. So while that finishes that, I'm gonna clear this off. And I actually made some ahead of time. I'm gonna bring that out to show you. All right, so this has chilled for a few hours. I put a little fancy schmancy piece of orange in there so it would look pretty, but look at that. It's just this beautiful, thick, rich, it's so much prettier, in my opinion, than like the log of cranberry sauce. And the flavor is delicious. You've got that cinnamon, you've got the vanilla, the orange. It is just beautiful. Look at that. That is something that you're gonna be proud to serve at any holiday table. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this and hope you put it on your table. We'll see you next time. This segment is brought to you by Virginia Natural Gas.